Sports Court with 13 on your side. Welcome to the latest edition of Sports Court, where we're talking college football. We're talking Michigan and Michigan State. And before we get started, yes, these two teams will settle all disputes on Saturday, October 30th. But until then, we got a lot of time to argue. Who has the more impressive 3-0 start, the Spartans or the Wolverines?
Testimony.
It may surprise some of you at home, but I'm going to lean with Michigan State having the more impressive start, if for no other reason than they've already played a Big Ten game on the road, and they've already played a ranked opponent on the road in the non-conference schedule, two things that Michigan is yet to do.
Oh, real big surprise with Mr. Spartan picking Michigan State here. The answer is clearly Michigan. Look at the way they have demolished their opponents this year. And the thing I really like them, good teams always get up for the big games. Well, great teams get up for every game, and that is what Michigan has done this season. They got revenge on their mind after last year, but at the same time, one thing that I keep hearing coming up, they're having fun. And when you have the right mindset and when you got the revenge factor going on, you're a tough team to beat. It's clearly the Wolverines.
Cross-exam. Mike, wouldn't you say we've seen this movie before from Michigan football teams under Jim Harbaugh? They have a fast start in the non-conference part of their schedule, only for things to get a little bit, weak later in the schedule when the Big Ten happens?
That is a very fair point, but you know what? This is a whole new Michigan Wolverine team. Those players in the past, they're not on this team. They've got a great mindset, as I said, so I don't think you could judge that. Now, let me ask you this question. Michigan State has 2 wins on the road. Let's look at who they've played. Northwestern, they beat Indiana State this season. They lost to Duke. Miami, they lost to Alabama. They got crushed by Alabama. They then bounced back in week 2. But, really, can you really say those 2 teams are impressive?
Yeah, because everyone loses to Alabama. So the fact that Miami lost to the Tide, that's no big deal. Everyone loses to Alabama. I will say this. Mel Tucker's only won 5 games at Michigan State. In 4 of them, he was the underdog, including road wins this season at ranked Northwestern and at ranked Miami. Playing down in South Florida is always tough regardless.
Oh, stop.
But,
it's not like playing in the cold. It was noon, for goodness sake.
It was still 90 degrees with like 70% humidity. A much harder circumstance, you would agree, than playing in Ann Arbor at noon, right?
I would agree with that, yeah. Closing argument.
I will say this. The Michigan Wolverines are firing on all cylinders. Having the best rushing attack in all of college football is nothing to slight. That is a very impressive football team. And I mentioned something a little bit earlier about Mel Tucker has only won 5 games at Michigan State. This is a guy that is still yet to coach a full season of college football. A lot of people thought the Spartans would be the worst team in the country. The fact that they are 3-0, already ranked in the top 20 in the country, with 2 wins on the road against ranked opponents, gives them the slight edge in my book.
Obviously, we talked about Michigan State a moment ago and who they beat. Not that impressive. Well, you talk about who Michigan beat, and you think about it, it is pretty impressive. They took down Western Michigan with ease in that first game. Oh, Western Michigan beat Pittsburgh. Then you got NIU. Their first game, they beat Georgia Tech. So 2 Power 5 wins for 2 of their opponents. That can't be overlooked. And you know what? I'll talk about what Jamal said. Everything he said is right about Michigan's offense. They're looking great this season. Even he had to admit that. It's Michigan all the way.
The verdict. Now it's your turn to weigh in, jury at home. We want to hear from you. What do you think?
We're trying something a little different here. You can head to our 13 on Your Side Facebook page or text COURT to 616-559-1310. That'll get you right to the post so you can tell us your thoughts.
And we highlight our favorites next week in Sports Court.